I mean, the confidence is always there. That yeah, I have few runs behind my back, but at the same time, there's a very thin line between you getting a little complacent also when you're coming into any game after scoring runs. So I think you got to do all your processes and routines the same way what you have been doing when you have done well. So I don't like 99%. I try to do the same things on match days. Like for example, if I have to do a gym session, or I have to eat lunch on perfect timing, I have to take a power nap for about 15-20 minutes. So all these things, these are small routines which I try to do on game days, and when I come to the ground I feel good. So that is my zone. And also I spend a lot of time on off days with my wife, speak to my parents a lot. That's the one thing which keeps me grounded always, is they don't talk about the game. We don't talk about the game at all. No discussion about the game, and they keep me in good space. That's the most important thing, and I'm really happy staying in that zone for a very long time from here on.
सूर्य विनोद कुमार साइड का रोज ऐसा नहीं होता कि विराट कोहली मैच चल रहा हो, देख रहे हो और ट्वीट करें. उन्होंने कहा कि भाई आपके बारे में कहा कि भाई वीडियो गेम जिस तरह से आप खेलते हो, ये क्या वीडियो गेम वाली बात क्या होती है, तो समझ में नहीं आया, बताएं.
अभी रिसेंटली कुछ गेम्स हम लोग खेले हैं साथ में, बहुत अच्छी पार्टनरशिप्स की है, तो बहुत अच्छा मज़ा आता है मेरे को उनके साथ बैटिंग करने के लिए. एक चीज़ है, भागना बहुत पड़ता है क्योंकि इतने सुपर फिट है वो, बट एट द सेम टाइम हम लोग जब अंदर होते हैं हम लोग ज़्यादा गेम के बारे में डिस्कस नहीं करते. हम लोग को पता है, एक दूसरे को रिस्पेक्ट करते हैं अपने अपने गेम के बारे में, कौन कैसा खेल रहा है. तो वो कुछ ज़्यादा बोलते नहीं है, मैं उनको ज़्यादा कुछ बोलता नहीं हूँ. बस मैं एक ही चीज़ बोलता हूँ उनको कि आप एक साइड से खेलते रहिए, तो मैं एक साइड से अपना बैटिंग जो है वो मैं करते रहूँगा. और वो बिल्कुल मुझे कुछ बोलते नहीं है अलग बैटिंग करने के लिए. वो बोलते हैं जैसा खेलते आ रहा है वैसे ही खेल और एंजॉय कर अपना गेम, बस.
वो बेसिकली वो कहना चाह रहे थे जो आज आप बैटिंग जो की वो वीडियो गेम की तरह बैटिंग किए हैं, उसके बारे में.
उसको तो मैं सर एक कॉम्प्लीमेंट के जैसा लूँगा और ट्राई करूँगा मैं और कैसे अच्छा कर सकूँ कंसिस्टेंटली. हेलो.
पीछे आप मुड़कर देखते हैं, क्योंकि एक वक्त था 3 साल पहले का करीब आपके डोमेस्टिक में भी रन आ रहे थे, आपने आईपीएल में भी काफ़ी रन बना दिए थे. हर कोई बात कर रहा था यार सूर्य कुमार यादव क्यों नहीं आ रहे इंडियन टीम में. बड़ा फ्रस्ट्रेटिंग रहा होगा वो फेस हर किसी क्रिकेटर के लिए. आज 1.5 साल में, ठीक 1.5 साल आपको करीब 1.5 साल हो चुके हैं इंडियन टीम से खेलते हुए, और ऑलरेडी लोग बोल रहे हैं कि यार ये हिंदुस्तान के ही नहीं दुनिया के बेस्ट T20 बैटर हैं. कभी आप सोचते हैं पीछे मुड़ के, या आज जिस फेज़ में आप आज हैं सिर्फ 1.5 साल में लोग ऑलरेडी ऐसी बातें कर रहे हैं?
जी बिल्कुल. पिछला टाइम एक्चुअली मैं हमेशा याद करता हूँ, क्योंकि मैं जब रूम में रहता हूँ और वाइफ के साथ ट्रैवल करता रहता हूँ, तो हम लोग वही बात करते हैं कि 2 साल 3 साल पहले कैसा सिचुएशन था, अभी क्या सिचुएशन है, ऐसा क्या बदल गया. तो हम लोग डिस्कस करते रहते हैं वो टाइम के बारे में. फ्रस्ट्रेशन तो ऑब्वियसली थोड़ी सी थी वो टाइम पे, बट हम लोग यही देखते थे कि हम लोग इसमें से पॉजिटिव क्या निकाल सकते हैं, बेटर क्रिकेटर कैसे बन सकते हैं, मैं एक स्टेप आगे कैसे जा सकता हूँ. तो वो टाइम के बाद मैंने कुछ दूसरी अलग अलग चीज़ें करने के लिए ट्राई किया. मतलब अच्छा खाना खाना, अच्छा क्वालिटी प्रैक्टिस सेशन करना, फिर टाइम पे सोना. मतलब उसके पहले भी मैं ये सब करता था, बट ऐसा क्वालिटी टाइम्स नहीं कर पाता था. तो हम लोग ने बहुत डिस्कस किया ऐसे, और उसके बाद टाइम कम्प्लीटली चेंज हो गया. तो वो जो सब चीज़ें जब मैंने की है वो सब आज हेल्प हो रहा है, और उसका फल खा रहा हूँ मैं.
I've just coined a new saying today, which goes by the way that there are only 3 things that are true in this world. One is death, second is taxes, and third is Surya Kumar scoring runs, regardless of any opposition. I just want to ask you, how much of the batting is instinctive when you are on the wicket? And you obviously spoke about all the planning and all the preparation that you do. But how much is instinct play a role? Like you see ball, hit ball, see ball, how much that plays?
I think that plays a big role. Playing, you got to play the format irrespective where you're playing, and most important thing is you should be having a game plan in your mind. What the wicket is like, what are the ground dimensions, how the ball will travel, etc. So all these things you got to keep in mind, and rest all the thinking you have to do in your practice sessions and when you're sitting back in the room. If you can't think too much when you come into the game, you got to come with a little clear mind, positive mindset, with good intent when you're playing this format, and then just enjoy yourself. That's it.
Last couple of when you look back at some of the shots you played, you see them on video, are you ever amazed or surprised by what you've managed to do out there?
Of course, I also get amazed after seeing some strokes when I go back to the room. I obviously see all the highlights every time, even if I do well or not do. If I'm not doing well on that day, I do watch the highlights. But yeah, even I get surprised after seeing those strokes.
सूर्य T20 में तो आपने तहलका मचाया, वनडे में भी, लेकिन हर क्रिकेटर का सपना होता है टेस्ट क्रिकेट खेलना.
आ रहा है वो टाइम भी आ रहा है। मतलब क्योंकि जब हम लोग क्रिकेट स्टार्ट करते हैं तो रेड बॉल से ही स्टार्ट करते हैं, और अपने मुंबई टीम के लिए भी मैं फर्स्ट क्लास क्रिकेट खेला हूँ ठीक ठाक, तो अच्छा खासा आइडिया है मुझे वो भी फॉर्मेट का, और वो फॉर्मेट भी बहुत एंजॉय करता हूँ मैं खेलने के लिए, और होपफुली टेस्ट कैप भी आएगी जल्दी।
Surya, to have those kind of skill set is one thing, and to go out there and perform is something different. Is it the confidence that eventually makes the difference? और कभी ऐसा होता है कि आपको पता लग जाता है आज मेरे रन आ रहे हैं, मतलब आप मैदान में घुसे बाद में है, सुबह उठे हैं, फील कर रहे हैं चारों तरफ, ये आज मुझे रन आ रहे हैं, एंड कॉन्फिडेंस डज इट इवेंचुअली मेक द डिफरेंस?
थोड़ा डिफरेंस करता है, मींस कॉन्फिडेंस ऑब्वियसली ज़रूरी है जैसे कि मैंने कहा, और ये फॉर्मेट जब मैं खेलता हूँ तो एक अच्छे इंटेंट के साथ खेलने के लिए ट्राई करता हूँ, बट कभी भी मैं ट्राई करता हूँ कि मैं गेम से आगे नहीं जाऊँ। मतलब मैं ऐसा कभी नहीं सोचता हूँ आज मेरे रन लग रहे हैं तो मैं इतने रन बनाऊंगा या इतने रन करूंगा, क्योंकि वो टाइम पे आपका प्रेजेंट में रहना बहुत ज़रूरी है। अगर आपने थोड़ी देर के लिए भी ये सोचा कि मैं बॉलर से आगे हूँ या मैं गेम से आगे हूँ, तो वहाँ थोड़ी सी प्लानिंग में मिस्टेक हो जाती है। तो मैं कोशिश करता हूँ, क्योंकि ह्यूमन ब्रेन है आगे का जाता ही है सोचने के लिए, बट मैं ट्राई करता हूँ कि वो टाइम प्रेजेंट में रहूँ, और वो टाइम मुझे क्या करना है वो सोचूँ ज़्यादा। Thank you.
Not too good. Yeah, I think he's a player that can hit you and hurt you in a number of areas. So he's had a great 12-18 months in IPL international cricket. So yeah, it's came up against a pretty impressive knock today. The guys will go away, and we got 48 hours to, I guess, reassess and come up with something for Napier.
I'm not sure there's much you can weigh in with regard to the batting, but what was the sense in the room about how that chase unfolded that really just seemed to never get going?
Yeah, I think that's probably the way to sum it up, is it never really got going, and any time you sort of looked like it was about to get going, and we lost the wicket, and I think that's credit to the way India bowled. They had a decent score on the board, but if you're able to take regular wickets and early wickets, then that makes that score even bigger. So yeah, I think just not being able to get going, and I guess when you're chasing a score like that, you need to I guess blunt it with a decent partnership at some stage.
We saw at the start of the World Cup, the first two matches, there were heaps of early wickets, two big wickets. Those early wickets sort of dried up though. You put your finger on what's happening, or they just swings and roundabouts?
Yeah, I think it's T20 cricket. You can bowl. Actually, you can feel like you bowled quite well, and I think we actually bowled okay in the first few overs. There's a few wides, but went past the bat a few times, and I think Sky's first 4 balls, he might have played and missed at 2 or 3 of those. So on another day, you get a couple of early wickets, then things are different. But I think any bowling attack, your plan is to try and take early wickets, and if you don't, then try and take as many as you can through the middle.
Tim, how difficult was it today? With you bowled in the steady drizzle, and the ball was wet, and so were the conditions really difficult?
Yeah, it's never ideal, but it is what it is. It's the same for both teams. It never really dried. It's like when you play in dew and things like that. So yeah, it's just something you have to adapt to while you're out there.
And another feather in your cap with the hat-trick there?
Yeah, I guess got a bit lucky there with bowling the last over and a couple of finding fielders. So yeah, it's always nice. You can, like I said earlier, you can feel like you've bowled really well at sometimes and not, I guess, get the rewards. And you bowl, I guess, like you did today, and you pick up a few at the end, and it's all yeah, makes the day a bit better.
Yeah, Tim, I was in the boundary line, you were there, and when Surya was playing some of those outrageous shots, I saw your expression, and there was a sense of disbelief. Having bowled some of the great Indian batsmen across the format over the last 10 years or 15 years, do you think Surya is the best T20 batsman from India? T20, I am specifically asking.
I think there's been a number of great T20 players from India. They produce so many good cricketers. I think Sky's had a great 12 months and had it's there for him to continue to do so and continue to play the way he has. But you look at guys that have played for a long period of time and have achieved so much over a long period of time. I think it's just India have always produced amazing cricketers, not only in T20 cricket but across all 3 formats.
Congratulations on the hat-trick. Sky innings and the result aside, how satisfying is a performance like taking a hat-trick against a team like India? What does it mean to you at this stage of your career? Because you're one of the rare bowlers who have picked up more than 1 hat-trick in T20. So what does it do to you? And I'm sure workload management is a topic that's been taken up by all teams. How much does taking a hat-trick at this stage in your career mean to you, and what does it do to you?
Yeah, I guess it's nice. Like I say, I got a little bit lucky there, but on the last over, and and that can happen. So yeah, another day they disappear over the fence and go for 6. So it's I guess it's nice when that happens, but it all starts again in a couple of days' time, well, a day or two's time, and it's just part of cricket that, like I say, you can feel like you bowl really well some days and not actually get the rewards for it, and then you pick up a couple of ones at the end like that, then it's always nice.
Last couple, they can still hear it coming through the mics. You guys just might not be able to hear it that loud, but
just to pick up on whatever is being talked about Sky, just to pick up on that, was it a 190 sort of a wicket today, or was Sky different? Because we saw both the teams, in fact, batters from both the teams, even from India and from New Zealand, they seem to be struggling a bit, especially with that new ball was doing a bit. Was he the difference, and was it a 190 sort of a wicket?
Oh, I think as an innings, anytime a T20 player gets 100 in a match, it's quite often the difference. And I think you look at the rest of the side and the way that we sort of batted. I think his innings was miles apart of anything else we saw today. So yeah, probably made their score get to a score that was probably a little bit more than what we were hoping for. But yeah, it was an exceptional innings, and it was the difference between, I guess, restricting India to sort of 175, 170, 180, and then getting above 190.